Hi, welcome to Project Marlin. Today is going to be a bit of probably a shortish video, and it's just a couple of bits and pieces I've been meaning to do. It's away from the main thread of what I've been doing about actually getting things fixed, mostly. Oops, I'm going to put my hand over the camera there. What the plan is I'm going to, a little bit later on, get the truck started up, and I'm going to take you through all the controls in the cab and possibly up on the monitor. Although we haven't got a working pump at the moment, there's no water in it, there's lots of things. It might be quite interesting just to like show everyone what all the buttons do, or what they would be for if they were working. Also, I'm going to take off the hydraulic slew motor for the monitor. The monitor motor is a slew motor, which is the left and right travel for the hydraulic motor. It's seized up. It's seized up, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked since I got it. I've actually taken the motor off already, but I'll just show you where it goes and pull the pipes off. So I'm going to take that home and try and free that up. As you see behind me, the batteries are flat. So we've got the generator running. Some nice people on the way to London on the train. We've got the generator running, the battery charger on, charging the batteries back up. It gets started a lot, don't like idling it for too long unless I have. It's more to get the air system pumped up. So the batteries have gone flat because it stopped start a lot at the moment. So that's been done at the minute. I'll just show you the batteries actually. We'll go over here. Where's the button gone? Tell you what, I'll restart it and I'll come back. So. Here we have our 4 batteries on the side. You see here by the engine, my favourite bit. We've got the battery charger. At the moment it's putting in about 11 amps. So I could turn it up a bit, but I won't do. Right, so you see down here, here's the slew motor. See the bolt there that's come from, it sits up in here. There's a gear on the inside of this. So when this gets hydraulic fluid, look at it, it rotates one way or the other depending which way you give it fluid, and it should turn through the spur gear. Put my hand out of the way. Through the spur gear it should turn the monitor left and right. However, this thing's C-solid. Not sure if I'm going to be able to fix it, but it's got 2 pipes on, so I'm going to take one pipe off on that end and one pipe off on this end here, so I can loop it round so it won't leak on the truck. Well, that's the plan. It's a bit awkward. This plate is actually riveted on rather than bolted on, so that means I can't easily take it off, so it's a bit of a difficult place to work on, but I'll get the spanners in there and we'll whip that off. There we go, there's the motor off. One pipe still on it, other pipe's looped round. You can see the colour, well, you see the colour of the oil. Looks like someone's put power steering fluid in it, which I think is too thin for it anyway. And it's obviously got lots of water in it, which is not helpful. So that'll explain why we've got problems. So on to the next bit. Right, so to be honest, it's 2 days after the last little bit of video. Couldn't get the truck started, so I had to take the batteries home and get them all sorted out. But I've done that. I've done a couple of other things. I've managed to, the slew motor that I said I was going to take off, I've taken that off. I've taken it apart and I've freed it up. It needs resealing, so when I reseal it I will do a video on stripping it down and resealing it, but I wanted to make sure it worked, it was usable before I spent money on seals in case I ended up buying a complete new motor. So that's that. Now, I did say I'll take you through all the controls, or some of the controls, and yeah, we'll do that now. I think so we're sat in the driver's seat, lots of gauges, lots of buttons. We'll go through the gauges quite simply. I'll turn the ignition on, which is the switch. We've got, these are the 2 foot brake tanks. This is my handbrake tank. This is my auxiliary tank, which does other bits and pieces like the firefighting equipment. Fuel tank, which acts like an hour's run meter really. It goes down so quick, it's frightening. Speedo, I don't know if it works. We haven't driven it anywhere at any speed above 10 miles an hour to see if it moves. It's cable operated, so hopefully it should be okay. Rev counter doesn't work. It's electronic. Something's not connected somewhere, so we've got to sort that out. Engine temperature gauge. Oh, it has actually moved a bit. That's nice. It doesn't usually move. Engine oil pressure. We haven't got any of the engines not running. Transmission temperature. Again, I don't expect that to move. Voltmeter for the batteries. It's a bit steamed up. And the clock, which actually does work. On the lights, we've got right hand indicator, low coolant level, which occasionally flashes because it does need topping up. Obviously, battery, I think that should warn me that it's plugged into the mains, but obviously none of that works. This is torque converter, so if that comes on when you're driving, you've got a problem, but when you're out of gear, it lights up. Usual high beam. These two should open up to warn me the engine canopy is not closed properly, but they don't work. Handbrake light, again, doesn't work. Oil light, temperature light, oil light works, temperature light I don't know. This does work, but it's disconnected. I connected it up the other day and the buzzer worked, and it was really irritating and I couldn't start the engine, so I disconnected it again. This one, I don't know. It's a brake warning light, but it doesn't come on, and I haven't traced where it goes yet. Obviously, another indicator. So, we'll go to the left. Left here, we've got 4 more brake warning lights, but that's because of the hydraulic brakes. So this is a low level warning for each of the hydraulic reservoirs. Again, needs looking at, doesn't work. This is to engage the all-wheel drive into 6-wheel drive. So there you go. Oh, big clunk as it goes in. Smaller clunk as it comes back out, hopefully. This is for the cross diff locks. So it locks in the rear axles. Oh, it sounded like something moved. It's quite quiet. Let's let an air back out. This one, just wait for the train to go past. This is a light test button. So if I press that, those lights light up. All of my lights here light up. So it's a bulb test and buzzer test. So that sort of works. That's my hazard lights, which actually works. This one is for, I don't know why it's got 2 positions actually. I think that's for the amber beacon on the roof that's missing. This is the 2-tone horn, which I'm not going to blow because, oh, sod it. Won't do any more than that. There's people working in the building next to me and they get a bit upset if I keep blowing it. This does the blue lights in the grille, the blue lights in the rear engine canopy, and the 2 beacons on the back of the engine canopy. This one does the spotlights in the middle of the light bar. This one does blue lights in the light bar, but both of these are disconnected at the moment. This one here is, I believe, for the locker lights, but they're stuck on, which is a bit strange. Again, I need to look at that. I think it's a bad earth. This one's for the fog lights. I don't think I've got fog lights on the back. I'm not sure. I need to look into that. But the front fog lights, they do come on, but they cause other problems with other lights when they're on. So there's earthing problems there. This one is, you can hear the pump running, for the deluge, which is the washer jets above the windscreen, which floods water down the windscreen. The pipe work for that is disconnected at the moment, so we won't go and mess with that too much. I'm thinking of taking the cab to pieces, so I won't be reconnecting that anytime soon. Up here, obviously, ignition switch, stop engine, which is air operated, so if we've got no air we can't stop the engine, which is a bit of a pain. And obviously engine start, so we'll start her up. Oh, what's gone wrong here? There we go, and away she goes. So what else have we got? I'll do this in a minute. Oh, here we go. This is for the heater, because it's an air heater in this cab. Again, need to fix it. Normal horn, indicator, lights. These are my side lights, my headlights. Normal windscreen wipers, windscreen washer which doesn't work. There's my nice Renk gearbox controller. So we've got usual. Foot on the brake. She's going to go. No, she's not going to go in reverse. She's not going to go in drive either. Okay. I need to work out what's wrong with that before the weekend then, because that's the problem. Here, handbrake. I don't know what that is. I thought it was a hand throttle. Use some of the rubbish. We've got 2 intercom units here and a button. I don't know what it does. Obviously, pedal wise, foot brake, throttle. Down under here we've got a floor button, which I don't know what it's for. It doesn't seem to do anything. I do wonder if it was for a siren when it was fitted. So, move over to here. This is our fire control panel. Turn the panel on, lots of lights come on. Water pressure in the pump, which we've got none at the moment because it's not running. Water foam level, it's warning me it's below 25%. Foam tank is not working because the bit that holds it all together has fallen to pieces and rusted away. This is low air warning to warn me that I've got problems on this system. Up here, PTO doesn't engage or disengage from here at the moment. I can hear the valve working, but nothing works unfortunately. This turns my main flow on from my water tank, so I'm not going to press because I'm trying to get water into the tank. This one's for the foam tank, so that should light up green, but the bulb's gone. Now, if I had my PTO on, my water on, my foam on, and I press this button, that opens a valve which then shoots foam out from underneath the cab in front of the front wheels. There's a bumper sprayer, which is pretty cool. These are for my number 1 and number 2 sidelines, so they both work. I'll show you where they are in a second. Air operated valves. Everything on this truck, very nearly everything, you can manually override, which is pretty handy. This is for the monitor up top. Turn that on and the monitor valve's open. If the pump was running, there'd be lots of water coming out of there. And this is to high and low output on the monitor. So, right, we'll quickly go upstairs and I'll show you the monitor controls. So we're up on top of the truck. We've got the monitor controls here. Again, pressure gauge, broken joystick that should have some wires on it. We've got the sideline controls. These are for these lights here. This switch does this light. This is water on, foam on. This is to unlock the monitor. That's to turn the water onto the monitor and high and low flow again. So if we do that, and now if I pull the joystick, we can swing the monitor around quite happily. It's pretty cool. I'll put that back in a second. The only other thing up here is we've got a hand throttle. What I was saying about manual overrides, if you look at the yellow one down there, if I open the foam tank valve, that's so I can put a bar in there and manually operate them. Right, I'll just take you down and show you the sidelines and that'll be about it. Alright, so we're down in the side locker. Cab side locker. We've got our hand throttle, light doesn't work, again a pressure gauge, and tell us about our phone. And from here we can manually turn the sidelines on and off. As far as firefighting, other than the BCF, which we'll look at another day, is about it. Cut a long story short, it turns out the reason it wouldn't go into gear is because the kickdown cable's removed at the moment and the lever on the gearbox it connects to is in the kickdown position. So it basically trying to hold gear, it's even neutral. So if you give it some revs, it goes into gear, but it goes in with a bit of a bang at the minute. So it is, the gearbox problem's fine. No gearbox problems, I just need to get the kickdown cable back on. Anyway, that's it for this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please click like, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share it with your friends and chat to us in the comments. Thank you very much and we'll see you soon.